Okay folks, Wolf Driver coming at you. So what I'm gonna do now is harness up the back. Hey, make sure this gets in there. Jim, rain gear, you don't want to bring it? Okay. That seems pretty safe to me. So, sometimes you're with me when I harness up the dogs. Sometimes I don't have a camera on. I'm just wearing a camera. Hi, good girl. And hopefully you can take a good description from me. I'm setting up Lola here. And she just hit the screen. So the screen controls the camera. Whoopsie, sorry, good girl. Whoopsie. Stay good, girl. The screen controls the camera, and that's why it zooms in sometimes. So, plenty of videos of me harnessing these guys up. And even my old Huskies, you can see me harnessing a Princess. There might be some early ones of Czar and Hudson and the other Husky members that have been, come on Zara, jeez, you gotta get back, good boy, that I've been fortunate enough for them to be part of my family in the past. Those Huskies have since crossed Rainbow Bridge. Hi, good girl, she's looking at me, Lola. I'm trying to do this without hitting wrong buttons on the camera stuff and getting kisses from Chase. Hi, Chase. You're a good boy, aren't you? So I've done this enough. I can usually do it by a cat. Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you. So we got a cat behind us. We got a team of Huskies that don't care. Well, they play a little too rough for cats, let's put it that way. For these kind of cats, there are mountain cats that we approach sometimes. Well, don't approach, that approach us at on our journey sometimes. Okay, Chase, just making sure his house is on there. She wants to watch, huh? Okay, so now it's time to load up the wolf pack. Put my final camera on. Said wicket? That ain't a good thing. Yeah, what is that? I thought it was my dog, but it's not. Jim, ready? Load them up here, or do we need to turn the bike around?
I think you can make that turn.
Okay. You ready?
Okay.
You can take big boy. Got him? So now you can kind of see what we're doing. We're heading towards the hookup now. Okay, good girl. Lola, being the newest of the wolf pack, doesn't like being left alone when her teammates are on the bike. Okay, good girl.
You got her?
Yep, I got her. Thanks, buddy. Chris, stay with the bike, please, bud. Not that I need to tell you, but good girl.
Once you cross this little bridge, it's going to be hard making a left-hand turn.
Okay. Okay, buddy. Hey, do we have an extra headlight in the back, Chris? Huh? In the bed? Cool. And there's 3. You have one more somewhere. You got it? Yep. Just double click. Wait, let me do it. Let me do it, Jim. Okay, you got it. Oh, actually, it's too bright. Now, I'll do it when I get on, bud.
Okay, well.
Sorry. Okay. Last but not least. What? Hey, yeah, let me get them harnessed up here. Stay. Okay, Mr. Bagster.
Co-founder Neil Shannon as well as
Come on, Jake, right there. Stay.
as well as Band-Aid.
It's okay, buddy.
All-Star Band.
Chase, Chase.
Is set to
We're coming in a sec. Chase wants to go.
Even after 11 p.m. Central. Just found out
Come on, Jake.
on Sirius XM.
Okay, walk around the other two dogs, not in the grate. Stay back, guys. Good boys. Okay, we're kind of set here. Oh, let me put the... Stay good, girl. She thinks I'm going somewhere with her, other than the bike. Just a little bit, huh? Ooh, this is not good.
Like tomorrow? How you doing, old boy? It's your girlfriend.
Okay, guys. Let me get a quick video here for the fans at home. I can get it out of my... let me make my light a little brighter. Stay. Okay, so it's, let me give you official time here. 12:12 in the AM hours now. Everybody's on board. Crew's ready to go. Lola thinks we're going this way. She just wants to follow me, I guess. And got our obelisk saying all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm not even going to mention it. Got our rig doing 360. Got some cameras here on the dogs, and we're in motion now. I'll catch you at our first mile marker. Okay, so one last thing I gotta do. Put this phone away and I can take the captain's seat. Chris, my drink might be out there somewhere, so heads up. I don't need it, but... Okay, so what we're gonna do...
Brakes on.
Brakes on, thank you, buddy. Okay. You ready?
Brakes off.
I need some juice. Juice is working. It's always a good thing. Okay, guys.
Gotta start turning.
Come on, hike. Okay, Crispy.
Good luck.
How far? Okay.
Don't get shot.
We'll see what we think there. I can't see the gate because
Right
this.
there, Billy. Straight ahead. Everything's good. Straight up. Right now.
Okay, got it. Yep. I crossed the bridge.
Yes, sir. It's tight, but I think we can make it. I got the brake on a little bit.
Okay, easy, guys. So, right off the bat, you're gonna see how we cross bridges. Come on, Zaro. Zaro.
I got the brake a little bit.
That's good. Come on, Zaro. 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 Here. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on, Chase. Now, this is how tight this is. And the dogs aren't shying away from the tightness.
Tight, you have to
Which way am I going?
get left.
Left. Easy, guys. Come on, Chase. Come on, guys. Zoro. Good?
Turn hard, bud. Turn hard.
Oh, I got it. I just got to adjust my camera here. Oh, guys, let me adjust this camera, Jim. Way back. Okay, we ready? Jim, you ready?
Ready, buddy? Good.
Okay, come on.
Everything's good.
Hike. Okay, so now we are passing some old ruins from the railroad that was here. And it's going to get a little choppy here. Come on, guys. Chase. Come on, guys. So sometimes it's a little hard to get them started because they're so excited. How's that rig to the side of you? Behind you? You see that one? Yeah, to your left. Right behind. Okay. Okay. No, just to. Well, there's one on the side of you. Do you see the one behind you on the side? Okay. You only have one on one side. Okay. Making sure you. Beautiful. Yep, I gotta adjust one, but we'll do that later. So right now, oh, let me get my meter going. Oh, guys, oh, I want to put my meter on. I did not do that. Yeah, it's better than last time, actually. Okay. Okay, buddy. Yeah, this is down. Let me see. Oh, we're looking back here. Oh yeah, your other one's running perfect. Oh, okay.
Brakes off.
Brakes off. Cool. Okay, so what I'm noticing. Come on, Zorro. Zorro. Now we don't want to take the fun out of everything. We don't want to be yelling at the dogs, but we do want to let them know they got to keep going because we can't stop and sniff at every stop. Can you see that sign, Jimmy? Yeah, that's okay. Bulbs, yep. We're passing one of the. No, it's okay. Whatever you want. One of the locks we're passing now, and there's another built. Oh, that's part of an old railroad bridge. Just the remnants of it remain. So it is a little bit. It gets a little dicey out here, as you see. And we're in the middle of the night. In case you're just joining us, the reason I do this at night is because it's cooler, obviously, at night than it is during the day. And when you're talking about summer and spring, warmer temperatures, of course, the husky breed, almost all dogs are just not real good at dealing with heat. That's their real big deficiency. They can't get rid of it quick enough. That's why they pant a lot. So what I do, a lot of frogs out here tonight. They're moving slow. What I do is just take them in the cool of the night because it gives me the chance to exercise them. Come on, guys, during the warmer months that way. They're really inquisitive tonight, which I like because that keeps them going. And that's why we're at a new trail almost every time. We go to a trail we haven't been to before, we haven't been to in a while, or a part of that trail, because it motivates them. But back to the heat issue. So when you go at night, of course, you're not competing with the sun. Sometimes humidity still can be strong, so we have to look out for that. And it's still relatively warm. But in the spring and summer, after they've shed their winter coat, their undercoat, they're more able to deal with the heat, at least a little bit better. Their hair actually helps protect them, so you never want to shave it. It actually insulates them against the heat as well as the cold in the winter. That's why they put on an undercoat. So this really is a great thing to do at night. And sometimes of the year I have to do it at night, or I had to in the past when my job wouldn't allow me. We're in daylight savings time. Again, I'm located in Maryland, USA, East Coast. And daylight savings time gets dark here during the winter, fall and winter, between 4 and 4:30 sometimes, as early as that. Bathroom break for Zorro. Good boy, Zorro. I think it's off the trail enough, Jim. Come on, guys. Hike. Thanks. So, I was forced. I've never seen so many frogs. And they're moving really slow. Whoa. Trying not to run over them. During the daylight savings time, it gets dark almost as early as, like I was saying, between 4 and 4:30 in the afternoon, and I would work till 5. So there was just no choice but to run them in the darkness. Now that's in the cold darkness. And that wasn't for purposes of keeping them cool. That was for purposes of just being able to get out because of my job. Now my job allows me to go, pretty much I'm at my own schedule. So during the winter I can go during the day now and enjoy the daylight hours because it's cool enough then for the huskies. We get, that said something, Jim. Yeah, the voice. We have something called an ovilus. An ovilus, O-V-I-L-U-S. And it's made or invented by a guy called Bill Chappell. And Bill Chappell, you might have recognized that name from Ghost Adventures and some of the ghost hunting shows on the major networks. Come on. He was just stopping. That's okay. On A&E or History or whatever channels, Travel Channel, etc. The ghost shows are on. Bill Chappell makes some of the equipment, and he's kind of pioneered some really interesting stuff that makes it really nice because it's got some science behind it. So I know people are skeptical. We all are somewhat of spirits, energies, whatever lies where we can't see or can't hear whatever is out there. Some people believe, some people don't. I'm pretty skeptical, but over the years I've become a lot more of a believer. And some people will be like, oh, that wolf driver's crazy, he believes in that. And some people will be like, yeah, wolf driver knows what's up with the spirits and the energies and possibly the afterlife, or people that have passed on, leaving their energies, or still lurking out there in some form. Pretty interesting. I got into it because of doing these activities at night and doing them in pretty historical areas. Where I'm at on the East Coast, there's a lot of Civil War history and a lot of blood was shed. So just traveling through where we're at tonight, we're near a place called Antietam Creek. And Antietam Creek was, from what I understand, a really bloody Civil War battle. In fact, they say that the Antietam Creek stream, whatever it is, just crossing mile marker 72. The Antietam Creek ran so red from blood that it was the Red Creek, or the Bloody Creek, whatever they called it back then. So not a good thing to be known for, but the whole point that we're in that area, and the Antietam battlefields surround us where we're at, means there could be some, there goes Chris, if you get a glance or you hear the truck in the background, that's the dog limousine, my dog limousine, and Chris is driving. He drops us off at a trail, picks up another point. They're on the run, Jim. Okay, so we got the dogs on the move right now, and I've got to pay close attention because there could be a nocturnal animal out here. There could be some paranormal energy they're picking up on. I have some of my equipment with me so I can do some light ghost hunting. I was explaining I have this ovilus, which is a voice box that lets audio from other energies, communicate with us. Chase just popped up. He's on the roll, Jimmy. He's on the roll. Okay, so I'm going to apply brakes gently just because I don't want us to fall apart here. We got a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of camera equipment. This is a bumpy ride, and the dogs are just really let loose here. We're probably up to about 12, 14 miles an hour. I mean, we are flying. And we're all dog power, by the way. I do have a motor on here, and it's pedal assist as well. but I don't need any of that right now. We are just rolling. Now I'm looking at a FLIR camera, which is a thermal imaging camera that gives me a view of the trail, and if there's an animal out here or something else with a temperature difference than the ambient temperature, which of course anything living is going to be warmer, that we're probably going to come in contact with or see, warmer than the ambient temperature, so it's going to stand out on my FLIR camera that I'm looking through, that's mounted to the front of the bike, that you get a glimpse of every time you see me. You're looking at my passenger Jim now, who's my co-pilot, co-captain. Now you can see the FLIRs right in front. That's the cartoon-looking iPhone, basically. That has a FLIR camera attached to it. That's how it interfaces. So we didn't pick up on anything else. Chances are what happened there is something crossed the trail not too far ahead of us, and the dogs just picked up on that scent. We pursue it, and that's what they are. They're prey driven. So we get to enjoy their sprinting speeds and the fun of their lure, if you will. And the mystery is maintained because we don't know what we were chasing. We didn't see it. Getting back to energies that might be out here from previous lifetimes, people that have been in this area possibly have had some kind of cross paths here, whatever. And a lot of people have, as I said, from Civil War and even building this canal back in the late 1700s, early 1800s, this canal and the towpath that we're actually on right now, a lot of people participated in it. It took mega manpower. There was not any kind of modern day machinery. Oh, something was hanging here. It was red. That was weird. It just looks like a trail marker or like a boundary marker. Very peculiar. So who knows what's out here, but I have this device called the Obelisk that I explained. Bill Chappell, who makes a lot of equipment for a lot of at least the Ghost Adventures, and I think some of the other Ghost reality shows that are on the networks, as I talked about, that you probably have heard of. And I've invested in some of that because of coming to these trails that could be, they are, I think, highly loaded with energies from past lives. And I like trying to tell the history of the trail through the evidence that we're able to collect. And it's not always known what evidence we get right on the trail, right then and there. Sometimes it's like when we get home and we analyze this and edit the videos, we hear voices. And I mean, some of them are crystal clear, and some of them, this is what really made me be a believer. I wasn't even doing any paranormal investigating. I was on, I think, the Virginia Creeper Trail, and it was pretty desolate. I went back there and I stopped to take pictures and give the dogs water. And all of a sudden, when I'm editing the video, I hear a voice saying some stuff, and it was, I can't recall exactly. I have the evidence on the WooFDriving YouTube channel. I can't remember exactly what they said, but it was very eerie. And it was not Jim, and it was not me, and there was nobody else out here but the dogs. And this was a human-type voice. It wasn't through any equipment, so I wasn't using the Obelisk, I wasn't using anything, but sorry, some of my equipment's loosening here. Oh, guys, I want to tighten this up, Jim. We went for a little bit of a ride there. What's that? Thank you. Boy, were they. Okay, buddy. You ready? Okay, come on, guys. Chase, let me see where we're at. This says a mile, 1.15, but I think we're better because I turned it on a little late. We'll water them another half a mile or so. Okay, man. How you feel, Jimmy?
I feel good, man.
Great. So, always checking in on the co-pilot. So, it's almost surreal being out here in a lot of ways. It's one of the reasons I'm pretty enchanted by the nighttime running. And I really have come to enjoy it. Now, depending on who my... Okay, cool. Campers on the other side of the river, Jim said. Depending on who my team is, Crispy's almost always with me, but there are other team members that are here some days and sometimes aren't. Some of them don't like the nighttime as much just because it's not as scenic. Some of them are really into the paranormal aspect and they like and enjoy the nighttime. I appreciate the nighttime. At the end of the season, which is usually around Halloween, in October starts being times. I mean, once in a while we'll get a nice cool day. Even during the summer we can run during the day, but pretty to go steadily, get back to day runs, that usually happens. It's cool enough in October, but we usually push some of the nighttime runs till about the end of October so we can get the Halloween and Hallows Eve run in. Those are always fun. Looking across the river, just seeing lights. What you look for during the run is, we're using different headlights by the way tonight, but a lot of times we'll look for reflectivity because eyes reflect. So it could be an owl, it could be a possum, it could be a raccoon, it could be a coyote, it could be a bear. I mean, lots of animals are indigenous. Those animals are all indigenous to this region. It's kind of cool though. There's no, yes, some of those are predators, but there's no real threat to us or the dogs. Like, you know, if you go far south, you've got to contend with alligators. There are some poisonous snakes, not quite as prevalent. We're not in a tropical zone like a Florida or something. So that's kind of nice. What's down there, Jim? A house to our left?
Yeah, a house, yep.
Okay. So the lights we're wearing tonight are a new one that I kind of saw on Facebook and kind of like them. I mean, I try all different kinds of equipment. They light up the whole area. They're like a headband that's got LEDs. The thing with these lights are they're more of a flood. They're not a spotlight, so it's hard to zone in on something. But we have other lights available to us either tonight that we bring with us. But I ordered a little bit more of a professional version that I was able to find after I saw the design of this. And I'll be hopefully sporting that on the next run. And anytime you have equipment, we're coming up on a road sign here that says road work ahead. At least the trail's not closed. Sometimes, you know, we'll get all the way to a trail and then it's closed. And you either turn around or, again, if you go on the WooFDriving archive, you'll see plenty of times where we just kind of went through the closed trail. I'm not saying it too loud in case somebody's watching, but it wasn't on this trail, but many of the trails I can recall, this trail usually doesn't have a closed trail. Horses prohibited beyond this point, so horses are able to be ridden through here. What? Not beyond this point at this time. Huh. Look at this, Jim. Different surface. Yeah, probably washed out. It's been so wet here. Mile marker 71. Hey, let's stop and do a water, Jim. And I can adjust and check up on the cameras. So you can see Jim, how he waters the dogs, how we take care of them. Of course, we're here for the dogs. How you doing, Jim?
Good, buddy. Just in slow motion.
That's okay. You're doing good.
My girl here.
You like your light better than the other light?
I can't see as far sometimes, but it's fine.
We can mount the other light to it also. That's what Dan suggested.
Well, I don't have to see where it's going. Sometimes I think that bothers you anyway.
No, I'm good. I'm pretty good. So, ooh, lots of bugs. They're all over us. It's this light. So right now, you can see all the cobwebs that have been built just while we've been riding down this trail. Yeah, this is beautiful. I wonder how long this goes on for. Okay, right now we're probably close to 2 miles. I didn't turn my meter on right away. We're all doing great. We're back here in the great yonder, in the darkness. Dogs are, they're known by their colors. This is the Jagster. He's the green man. He's got the green light. The Chaster's got the orange light. And coming around to the Z-Man, he's got the blue light. And Lola's pretty in pink tonight. So, kind of on a new trail, this part of the trail just been resurfaced. I'm trying to see what it is, if they're getting ready to lay a surface over that. Really soft for the dogs. They're really nice. We're rocking and rolling. We went pretty quick. Dogs picked up on something and a scent, and they were just flying down the trail. Be sure to catch it on my video after we publish it for this trail. See you at the next stop. Okay, Jimmy.
WooFDriver.
Whew. Yeah. Let's see if I can put some lights on the dogs. Get their collars working. So the collars match the harnesses just because we're cognizant of health fashion on the trail. Oh, sorry, baby. Yeah, right in front of me, that's the Z-Man's. He's the blue dog. No water for Chase? You don't think they're a little spoiled, do you, Jimmy? He's been talking to Jay. He wants him to pick it up to water, to drink the water. Lola, pretty and pink girl. Okay. Now sometimes Chase hates stuff around him. This harness is one of the few that I found that agree with him. But let's see how he does with his collar. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Slowest drinker on the East Coast, Jag. He's catching his things. Let's catching his slow drink. Sunset was the last thing it said, Jim.
Is that right?
Yeah. I hope we're not going to be out here till the sunset tonight. Hope that's not any inclination. Gonna do a quick camera check. Make sure we're rocking and rolling. We seem to be rocking and rolling. Camera seemed to be good. Look at that. My battery came out just like that. Okay, I'm just trying to
WooFDriver.
How we do, Jim? Do we get a lot of drinkers? Did they drink much, or
We're good to go.
did they drink much?
I'm moderate in that.
Okay.
One good drink, that's all.
Okay. We're off. Come on, guys. Hike.
Everybody had some.
Good.
One drink to leave.
Chase. Okay. So we usually to commence or start up the dog powered go-kart, as I like to say, I say hike. And that's traditionally what most dog drivers, even of big sled dog teams, say. Everyone thinks they say mush, but they actually say hike. And that's part of part of regular sled dog terminology. I didn't make that up. You can go on my website, WooFDriver. Might be on my WooFDriver X for extreme website. Is that anything, or is that just you? I thought I heard a branch or something. Okay, just making sure. Pretty cognizant of most sounds out here because we don't want to get anything caught in our tires or spokes that would be problematic. Breaking a spoke. If you break enough of them, you can collapse the tire, or just make the tire, the rim off the tire to come off the rim. And it's happened before. None of this stuff, we're not going at high rate enough speed that would hurt a dog or would hurt us in any way. We've actually pride ourselves on never, ever having an injury to any of us. And we've been through some pretty tumultuous situations. Dogs are always our first concern. In fact, Jim will tease. He says, I know if it's the dogs or me, it's me, meaning him. So he gets thrown off the bike first before any dogs. That's all in good form. The dog lovers here, of course. So passing my residence, and along this trail, it's 184.5 miles long, in case you're not familiar with it. So there are residential areas. There's old houses that are here that I'm sure they probably weren't here before the trail, but they were here before the trail was designated a federal park. I think that was in the 50s of 1950s. So, well before then, I don't think they knew what they were going to do with this land, and houses might have been built. While people were having a campfire there, we will pass by some camping sites. And I think at some point they thought maybe they were going to develop some of this land, until, I should know my history, one of the presidents designated the whole area, which is huge. It's like 200 miles, like I said, from, oh, we got a dog barking, from Georgetown, Washington, D.C. to Cumberland, Maryland. And it continues on under a different trail name. This was supposed to continue on the C&O, but they went bankrupt in the 1800s and it went defunct. So they stopped building it, of course. They didn't need to. And the railroad took over and became, the railroad never rode on this part of the trail, but on the new trail they built, it did. It was called the Great Allegheny Passage, or it's called that now, and that goes from Cumberland to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But that's all a trail that connects with this one, so it's almost, I believe, 350 miles plus, and we've ridden the whole length of both trails, not in one time, but just over a course of time. We've mapped it, and it's just awesome. So you're getting some reflectivity from different cameras. I'm noticing on the infrared camera what you're looking through. And that's just because I've got so many cameras on here. And again, infrared is a light that's not visible to humans, but it is visible to cameras that are designed to film it. And my cameras have been customized or purposely bought that way for this purpose. Infrared's kind of cool because you can see in total darkness. That's what night vision goggles are designed around, and the U.S. military designed them originally. And I actually used military grade, I mean really expensive military goggles, and I still have them for my night runs when I had to do it. When I talked about earlier in daylight savings time on my job, I worked till 5 o'clock, and it would be dark at 4 to 4:30 here. Little bumpy here, Jimmy, on the East Coast in the winter. And I would have to go out there to get the dogs their exercise. I'm doing it now in the summer, like I said, because of the heat. That's why we go at night. But I trained myself originally on cold nights, just because that's what my daytime job only allowed me to do, is to run at night, or in the darkness, if you will, because of daylight savings time. And when I got off of work, it was dark out, and my huskies needed to run. So you're getting views as the camera rotates around into the woods. I mean, it's possible the camera, you'll see an animal out there. I have no idea because I can't watch that camera the whole time, and of course dog drive here. But it's really pretty interesting how night vision does work, and I'm always fascinated by it. And in fact, the U.S. military, when we've been in the modern day wars or involved in any military and even sometimes police operations, they'll use the cover of night or darkness, because they use it as an advantage. Because maybe today other countries are starting to get night vision, but most of them didn't have it. We had it. We were the ones who invented it. We had it for a long time. We possessed, and we still might. I know when I get any of this equipment, it says it is illegal to ship outside of the United States of America, because they still, up to today, don't want anybody that might use this nefariously, especially against the United States, to have it. But you can buy it legally inside the United States, you just can't ship it, which of course I'm not shipping it anyway. I'm using it for my own purposes. And I'm a big military supporter and of course very patriotic. So, but it is pretty cool. So the dogs are picking up a little bit of a pace. Huge spider I just ran through. I mean, that was huge. I don't know if the infrared caught on it. Wow. Just went through a huge spider web, dude. I mean, I could see the spider. The thing looked like a tarantula. I mean, it was massive. And it could be on me. I don't know. Because I feel the web. Dig me a hole before you put me in, buddy. Sound like Curtis. Sometimes when we go with Curtis, our resident ghost hunting expert, we've been on some of these WooFDriver adventures at night, ghost hunting, and when we go with a more full team like that, we have more equipment and we stop at designated areas we already knew we were going to stop at to pretty much ghost hunt. Somebody stays with the dogs to watch them. But I remember one time I was with him and the bike, the battery broke. And I think we only had pedal power. And Curtis said, I was a big frog. Curtis said, if I keel over, just push me off the dog cart, roll me in the woods. I'm part Indian. I'll be fine. Leave me there to die. It's like, whoa, Curtis, take it easy, buddy. So Curtis is quite a character and an excellent paranormal investigator. We hope to do some rendezvousing with him in the Halloween month of October. Been a little bit more limited on our ghost hunting adventures just because I've been busy doing other stuff, all dog related. As you know, Princess has crossed Rainbow Bridge this past year in April, and she was active until the day she died, so she's had a wonderful life. She didn't suffer at all, which warms my heart, you know. But we've added a new pack member who you're looking at tonight, who's Lola. She looks like Zorro. She's only about a third of the size, though. She's roughly 2 years old. She's just a small girl. But actually, she's the same weight as Jag and Chase, roughly 50 pounds. Zorro's off the chart. He's like 75 pounds. Princess was a little heavier. She just had a lot of muscle. She was about 55, 56 pounds. But Lola is taking up some of my time. I've been training her, and that is actually, you can see I'm publishing some of my training series, how I train the dogs, and it's really pretty easy for what I do and how I train them. And I'm not tooting my own horn here, but the kind of training I do is the only kind of training they need. It's just 6 or 8 commands, and they just really need to respect them. And with the respect of those commands, they can be trusted off leash. And in most situations, with other dogs, as long as other dogs are under control, somebody has control of them, and almost anywhere you could take any dog, you could take a husky after I'm done training them. So not tooting my own horn. Whoa, you see that big thing? Is that? I don't know if that's a bat, dude. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It looked like a hummingbird, but that's a bat. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, we are in the dense forest, and there's all kinds of stuff out here. Actually, one time we got on video a minx, and just like a mink coat. I don't condone fur, obviously, but a mink animal is beautiful. Mile marker 70, and yep, 70. It was quite a sight, and actually my co-pilot at the time, Red, he hunted it down with the camera, went way deep in the woods. It was just as the sun was rising, and it was on this trail. Pretty incredible. And we looked it up. We might have contacted the DNR, and they did say minks are on this trail. So it's pretty cool. And I try to stop and investigate almost anything we see, or at least photograph it, capture it some way. That whatever that was, probably a bat, but it did look like a hummingbird. I wouldn't have been able to get too much of a photo with. So, but something land animal, usually that's slower moving, I can usually get my camera out pretty quick and get a quick photo. And you can go on a website that I call WooFDriver Inspire to see most of my wildlife sightings. So tonight I'm doing, that is coming back for us. Some of that is because we have a really bright light on the front. I mean, I'm not trying to put a price tag on everything, but I use about a $500 bike headlight. And it's $500 because it's about the brightest light you can get out there on the market. It is LED, and it's battery operated, which means that I don't need any kind of lead acid batteries or any kind of external lithium ion batteries. I mean, it is all self-contained, and it's got a bunch of different modes. It'll self-dim, whatever mode I have it set for. But it's about the brightest bulb you can buy. It rivals a car headlight. So I think it's brighter than a car headlight, actually. I can actually see the trail really well. So there's a headlight or something up ahead. Yeah. Okay. So I'm always a little leery when we get to lights and other things ahead. Yeah, we're camping areas, but we're just not sure. We had gunfire on the C&O, one of my videos from a couple months ago, maybe last month. Pretty scary scene. So just what's that? Yeah. So I'm just paying close attention. The gunfire wasn't. Yeah, someone's flashing down there. So I gotta pay attention here. Excuse me, but you can watch this unfold. Not that I'm anticipating anything bad, but no, I just they don't know me and I don't know them. We're not doing anything wrong, but we're in the dark of the night, and we can roll up on someone and scare them. So, and someone could be up to something nefarious too, but we're just taking our time. See that light, Jim? It was pretty bright. There's a house to my left or something. Camping. And we've rolled up on campers before, and somebody pulled out a... Whoa. Did you hear that, Jim? It was this tire. Chase got scared. This tire. Chase got scared. Okay. I just want to get past all this. That's a dog. Yep. So, sorry, I got a lot to pay attention to here. This is WooFDriving. I don't want to wake people up either by a lot of talk. Just trying to get out of Dodge as quick as possible. Campfire and campers. Once we get up here, we got to check the tire. It was made a loud noise, which there's bearings in these tires, and sometimes these bearings just break down. If you lose enough of them, the wheel could come off. Again, nobody's going to get hurt, but it'll jolt us all. It'll surprise us all. Chase looked at it a little bit, so I know it came from this tire, from his reaction. Chase is a real hardy dog. He nothing really bothers him. That little sound, he looked at it and said, "Huh, I've heard that before." Okay, we can stop here. Oh, guys. Oh, it's pretty solid, Jim. No, look at it, please.
It's in there pretty, it seems to be on there pretty solid, but it's really,
Clear me.
it's on there pretty solid, but
Is it? Do you see anything, Jim?
I haven't seen anything that's really solid, but it's really wobbling.
I think it was wobbling before.
Possibly, but it don't belong wobbling like that. The other one's not wobbling at all.
WooFDriver.
Okay, you keep an eye on it.
I will.
We good?
Yeah, it looks like there's an access here.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, come on, guys. Hike. So it passed the smell test. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but feel secure enough to keep going on. We noticed an access here. Sometimes on this trail, the C&O Canal Trail, it might be 10 miles or better. I think we've gone 8 to 10 miles between accesses before, and that's a little unsettling in case you break down, but and a lot of times we're in no man's land where there's no cell phone service, but we carry with us satellite messengers, which are good. They've saved us before, but they're not foolproof. Sometimes a message goes through, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just hesitating here because this trail, the canal was built to my left. Whoa, a little tight here, Jimmy. Whoa. I think maybe I was supposed to.
Went down the drain, right?
Yeah, I think you want to get off and look. I'm not sure.
Okay, buddy.
I might be able to go straight ahead.
Let me check it out.
Oh, you know what? This is where I go down there, I think.
I think so too, buddy. Give me a second.
Okay, take your time. A lot of times, so remember this, the canal is on my left. The canal, a lot of times you can't tell it was a canal because it's dried up. It's defunct, it's not used, there's grass growing, whatever. But you can kind of see the shape of the belly of it it was a canal. And sometimes in the nighttime, you're not sure. The trail has two ways to either get through the canal. You can actually drive through the grass part, or you can go on some of these narrow railways. And Jim's trying to find out which way we should go.
WooFDriver.
So Jim had a little bit of a medical procedure, nothing big today, but he's, Jim's in his 70s, so just want to help him as much as I can. He's great out here on the trail. He's great with the dogs, and he's a bit of a outdoor genius. We come to situations where we have to saw our way through. We have to carry a pocket saw, and Jim will figure out a way to get us around down trees and other obstacles. So that comes in. He comes in real handy, and even some of the younger guys that go with me are just they're very physical because they're younger and they're in shape, but they don't have the, how can I say it, the wiseness of a seasoned veteran. There you go. So he's up there now. He usually doesn't carry. We have walkie-talkies for each other. He usually doesn't carry. The only thing I like to do is just make sure we can get through here. Make sure nobody's coming up behind us too. Hi, good boys. And the dogs, you can hear them panting. Of course, that's how they breathe, but that's also how they stay cool. They're emitting heat through their mouth. They don't sweat like humans. At least the sweat they do is, the little bit of sweat they do is minutia and doesn't really cool them. So, hi, good boy. Nazaro just nudged me. He wants me to hold him. He wants me to give him a little hug. He's having a ball. They love this. But actually, it's harder for them to hear because their mouth is panting loud and it's near their ears. What's that? What do you think? Plenty of room? Is there any way to go that way? Yeah, how far back would we have to go? And can you do it? Can it be done?
Okay, bud. I know.
Sure. Take your time, buddy. You're putting the big headlight on, huh? Yep. That's whatever you need. That doesn't bother me at all, Jim. You think it bothers me, the light, when I'm back here, but it doesn't. Jim thinks sometimes. One of the reasons we're using the new headlights I was talking about that are kind of like a sweatband with all these LEDs are really cool. And their whole design is to give you surround light. And they're great for working, but they don't project really far. And he's got to go further. He's got to look further because he's going to try to walk down this embankment and see if we can get through that way. He says, I got plenty of room with the railing, but there's no railing to hold the other side. So I've done this before, not this particular one. I'm not sure. I can't see it as well. Really? Is that made to ride through, though? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Should I back? Let's go down there. Can I back up? Just back up. Let me try backing up. You watch me. Come on, guys. Back up. Back up. Back up. Come on, guys. Lola, back up. Boys. Back up. Back up. Which way? To my left? Towards you. You said... Back up. Back up. Back up. Come on, love. Back up. No, come on, love. Good girl. Back up. Come on, love. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm good. So it's like sometimes you'll see us do like a 12-point turn on the dogs that I caught, but that time I just backed up. Notice how the dogs are really cooperative on that backup. They understand that. Instead of going through nighttime riding on a tight hairpoint turn, what Jim said it was. He said it was wide enough, but there was no fence on the other side, and we never had an incident, but tonight's not a good time to have one. So if I can go this way, which is easier, if we can get back, we're trying to avoid, now that we avoid going on the tight bridge I was talking about, we're trying to avoid going too quick down the hill to access the trail to my left, which is actually the canal. I know it sounds a little funny, but that's the lay of the land here, and that's the best I can explain it. You gotta watch the video how it unfolds, and you might see it better.
WooFDriver.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready for me. What's that? Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Come on, guys, back up. Back up. Back up, come on. Back up, back up, back up. Back up.
WooFDriver.
Forward. Come on, guys. Come back now. Come on, guys. Back up.
WooFDriver.
Back up. Back up. Come on, sir. Okay, come on forward. Back up. Back up. Come on. Cool, man.
WooFDriver.
Too far off the trail, or? Come on, G. Come on, left. Back up. Come on, guys, forward. Hike. Which way now, Jim? Cut it. Okay, come on, guys, back up. Back up. How cool is this? Back up. Back up.
WooFDriver.
What's up? We never. Yep. I'm gotta back up a little more. Yep. That's good, Jimmy. You want to get in, or you want to? I don't know. Should I try? Come on, guys. Hi. Yep. Nice, man. Nice. Good boys. G. 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 See? Okay, back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Forward. Nah. I'm going to get you on in 1 sec here, bud. Okay. Beautiful. Look how nice this is.
You can't see all that shit in the dark.
You really can't, bud. Oh, sorry, man. You good? You in? Come on, guys, hike. So you can see, wolf driving takes some patience. Okay. I'm sure it comes out nice if they did all this here.
Yeah, you gotta go. Once you get in the hole, you're gonna have to go up the hill a little bit.
Okay. So this was the canal, and actually, depending where the camera that you're looking through this at, it might show you looking at the walls of the canal. And I'm about to enter them right now, and you actually should get a little bit of a glimpse there. Yeah, right there. That's the wall on my right and on my left. Yep. So above it, there's a rail where I'm pointing, and that's what we could have rode on. Actually, this looks pretty level here, Jimmy. We'll see how it does. But so we're actually inside of where water probably 200 and some years ago. So this is 2020. So 1800. So 220 years ago or so flowed through here. Yeah, a little bit of a hill. Come on, guys, hike. Come on, hike. So I can put some speed on. Come on, hike. Good. Good? Yeah, man. So pretty cool. I had this bike has some pretty good power. For those of you tech heads out there, we're using a BB, which is a Bifang BB1000, and it's a powerful mid-drive. I think it's a mid-drive motor, and it really can. Remember, it's hauling a lot of weight here, probably 500-600 pounds easy. Now remember, the dogs are not pulling. The dogs are actually just trotting along. This is like a walk in the park for them. And that's the genius of this design. People will a lot of times look at this and say, oh my God, what are you doing to those dogs? Well, I'm not doing nothing to them but giving them fun. They're just running, trotting along with this bike, if you will. The biggest thing to teach them is not to be scared of the wheels. And I do that through a multitude of ways. Again, if you check out my website, Wolf Driver, my YouTube channel, you'll see where they run next to scooters, ATVs. They're not attached to the ATV, but we use the ATV for free range, and they'll run right next to it. They're not scared of wheel devices. Now, I know some people might say, well, you're making them not scared of cars. Well, they don't come in any contact with cars. So, yeah, they probably wouldn't be too scared of them, but they're not in a situation where they're exposed to them, and that's the way we like it. I'm watching my FLIR camera, and there's enough temperature disparity here for it to really define the path and the trees. And it's kind of cool. So that video I'll post also. And it's fun because sometimes people will point out to me, well, did you know that an hour and 37 minutes and 20 seconds into your ride, something which looks like a coyote crossed the trail? And I'm like, whoa, I didn't even see that. And I fast forward, and anybody can do that. They'll leave in the comment section. They go to YouTube, and they go to the comment section like, oh my gosh, there was something there, and everybody tries to guess what it was. So it's kind of cool. I like that kind of stuff. And, I like not knowing what's out here and running, in any case, running in harmony with it. And that's where the dogs come into play, because the dogs aren't scared of the darkness, and there's not many fears of many animals they have out here. They're just trotting along. They hope to meet something. They want to have an encounter. I'm trying to avoid them from having the encounter. Of course, I'm trying to see it from a safe distance. So this is almost surreal. I mean, imagine you're just on a trail in the middle of the night in virtually total darkness, not really knowing what you're going to run into. but feeling competent and confident enough of your team, meaning the dogs, the crew I'm with, meaning the peeps, and the equipment I'm using to face pretty much realistically almost anything that we may encounter along this trail. And having the faith in the camera equipment we're using to document our trials and tribulations, and there's plenty of them. If you watched me over the years, been doing this for about 25 years, not to this extent. This extent has really developed over the past 10 years or so, but it's pretty cool. And I encourage anybody out there to ask questions, leave comments, concerns, and ideas. One thing, I am a martial artist, and I've learned from the martial arts, I'm always a student. So no matter how much I know, I can always learn, and that goes true for almost all of us. If you're an expert in your field, you still could probably learn, and sometimes we can learn from people that aren't even knowledgeable about what we do. They just, because we get so caught with thinking inside of the box because we are trying to understand the way to do things, and we train ourselves for what we're exposed to, like what I'm exposed to out here and the situations that arise. But sometimes someone can look at it and ask me a question and be like, I didn't think of that. So it's always something I can learn and we can teach each other. So I love hearing everybody's take on what I do. And this is so unusual that it really is a good topic for discussion. And it can really help others, because just think about it, because this is not super physical for us humans, but it's physical for the dogs, but not to the point where they're pulling their heart out. It could be good teamwork for people with disabilities. So, and it would allow people with disabilities to get on the trail, for instance, and exercise with their dog. So it's got a lot of applications that this can be really nice, work nicely with everybody. And by the way, like I say, these are husky dogs and they can go on forever. But I had my Chinese crested out on it. I've had a few Chinese cresteds, my wife's babies, and I've taught them to do some biking. And there's some videos of that out on YouTube also. So any dog can do this, and that's what I wanted to share with everybody. So if you've got a 6-7 pound Chinese crested, or you've got a big Newfoundlands love to do this. They're carting dogs. Anybody can do this pretty much. Now, as elaborate as I do it is a little more demanding and extreme, and probably not going to be most people's cup of tea. But having a regular bike or a recumbent bike, a single person recumbent bike that people can throw in their cars and take their pooch with them and get on the trail in a matter of minutes, that is a good reality. This is a really nice, the way they fix this trail up is incredible. I haven't been on this portion where they've really redone it. It's just awesome. Now at our next mile marker, I think we'll be approaching 5. We'll give the dog some more water again. Looks like water right there, Jim. It's a river that close? It almost comes up to right there. Is it high, or is that just where it comes? The river. Yeah, the river's really close to us. I don't remember it being this close. But remember, that's another thing about these trails. We're not on them all the time, on one particular trail. So they change. The erosion, storms come in here, and look at the surface of the trail change, but the topography's changed some. I mean, that is really close to the water. Now, I believe the canal's to my left, but it's so overgrown and it's dark now, I can't really tell. The canal has eroded in some areas that you can't even tell there was a canal there. They do have working parts of it to show people what it was like, but that's more in the touristy areas, like when you get towards Washington, D.C. And there's actually a donkey they have, because the donkey used to pull the boats up the canal using their strength, and they would use the towpath. And there's pictures you can find online, and even a couple of videos, I think, from way back when that document some of how this worked. It's quite a feat. And consider it was built with no modern day equipment. That is really fascinating. So, I mean, I live for nights like this. It's just absolutely beautiful. And the dogs, when I see them enjoy themselves, that's some of the most joyful times in my life. It's just awesome. And not only their emotional enjoyment or their psychological enjoyment, but their physical health, how this helps it, is also really, really awesome. Nothing but pure benefit all the way around. The only thing this does is cost me money, because to take my team out here, of course, they enjoy it, but it's work, and they're doing more of the work than I am. I'm just mostly taking care of the dogs. So they do it for the love of it, but they also need to make money to survive, so it's a paying job. And I don't mind it at all.
WooFDriver.
And they want to come for a few times, but to do it as a full-time adventure, of course, it's a paying job. It needs to be. But this trail's phenomenal. If you are anywhere remotely close to this part of, if this is in your part of the woods, no pun intended, if you're in the Maryland, Northern Virginia areas, even as far west as like Cumberland, the C&O Canal is awesome. And it just became that much more premier in my mind that they have this resurfacing done on this far up. Means they probably have done a lot below here, because they probably started, most populated areas getting towards DC. When you hear us say the miles, that's how many miles we are from the beginning of the trail, which is in Washington, DC, which we're headed towards. We're not going to make it there, obviously. It's 70-some miles from, well, we just passed 69-mile marker, 60-some miles from here. But that means a lot of this is paved. And there's so many places. There's so much. Look at all the mushrooms, Jim. So much topography to see here, from cliffs to the Potomac River. There's a section here that cantilevers over the Potomac River that was redone probably 5-6 years ago. It's called the Big Slackwater. That got washed out once, and they spent millions. And it's phenomenal, and it's, to me, one of the best kept secrets along this trail. And I thought that was awesome. Now this is awesome. I just can't get over how cool everything is. So I'm always listening for sounds of the bike. Remember, we put a lot of miles on these bikes, and they take a lot of wear and tear. Some of the biggest wear and tear is just riding on the trail or getting to our different destinations and getting back home. They get tethered down or strapped down pretty tight because they're on an open trailer. We're going to change that soon. I'm going to actually use some enclosed trailers. That's going to be the next WooFDriver evolution, and that'll be coming soon. It'll help the bikes ride better. Now, the dogs and passengers, of course, we're always inside the truck. And the truck does have a place on it for the bikes to ride on top, one of them, but we've been taking two because over the years I've learned that one ultimately breaks down at some point, and instead of going 200-300 miles from home on a trail and then just not being able to do it. The dogs rode all that way, we rode all that way, and lose that momentum. Let's give him a little water here, Jimmy. Easy, easy. Oh, it's good to have two bikes to help us make a bad day good. If one bike goes bad, the next bike comes into play. How you doing, Jim?
Good, man.
I might take a couple pictures here.
Be careful with my girl here.
Yep. Everybody seems great. This trail is incredible with this new surface. Now, our voice hasn't spoken to us lately, Jim. No, I haven't heard it. The Ovilus is not. I don't want to turn my headlight on, so I'm going to use the light on here.
WooFDriver.
And I think I'm out of battery. I have to turn my headlight on to get a battery. Yeah, save the battery. Thanks, buddy. Boy, these bugs get on you as soon as you turn it on.
WooFDriver.
I can't deal.
You know what, Billy, that other light you got was worse than this one. Bug?
It was? Really? With the bugs? Yeah, they're attracted to this one more than...
You can take a look at me.
Yeah. Let me use my light here.
WooFDriver.
I could almost do this in my sleep, so changing these batteries as long as I get the right direction. Done this quite a few times. Good deal. Done. Glad for these cell phones. They got built-in flashlights. I love it. Okay. Everybody drinking?
WooFDriver.
We're better than 5 miles, Jim.
Yeah, like I said, must be 5. We started at about 73. There's 68, should be about 5. It's nice, nice.
Beautiful.
Did that help you, Billy, when you came down?
Yep. I just turned the light off. Helped me a lot.
I couldn't hardly stand that other light there. Them bastards were killing me.
Yeah, as soon as you have it on.
Well, you don't know the shortcomings of everything until you try it out.
Yep.
WooFDriver.
I guess it's brighter, maybe.
I don't know. I think just because the light's around you. Yeah. Well, I just heard something jump in. Yeah.
I know, Pete. Trying to make me go swimming. You good, Travis?
Checking in right now with what says 4.66 miles, more like 5 miles. We're at mile marker 68. Right there. Dogs are doing great. We're doing great. Been a beautiful night. Love this new trail surface. and hopefully got some good video for you. We haven't had a whole lot of paranormal activity. Let me check the voice. The last voice was sunset. Let's see if it said anything since. It has not. Interesting. That's our meter right there. See you at the next mile marker. Look at Jag napping on the job, Jimmy. Yeah, he was sitting down.
WooFDriver.
Okay, guys. They drink a lot or not a whole lot?
Drink one good drink.
Okay.
Nobody hardly really said it.
Okay, buddy. Tell me when you're ready, buddy.
I'm ready, buddy.
Come on, guys, hike. Oh, I didn't check your camera. Does it look fine behind you, everything?
Yeah, everything is good.
WooFDriver.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Wait, I didn't check the time. We making good time, Jim?
I imagine I'd say it's probably 1 o'clock.
Okay.
I think we started around 12.
Yeah, I think you're right. And how far is home from here?
1:32 it is.
132?
Yeah.
That's what you said, right?
We still have a little bit of time backing up.
Yeah. How far from home are we?
That should be about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes at the bridge.
Yep.
WooFDriver.
What time's your estimate we'll be home today?
You good 20, 10 miles?
I'm not sure. I might do 15.
You go out of hours, too.
Okay.
You know what I'm telling you, to be wrapped up by 3 o'clock. Should be home by 5 or 6.
Okay.
One good thing is you end up daylight 20
Okay, buddy. Let me just doing my estimate for us.
You can find a place to eat or
No, I got a sub. I brought an extra one.
you got what you got?
Yeah. What's the temperature out here tonight, buddy?
I think it's about 70. I don't think it's too cold.
Yeah.
I'm really worried about that wheel.
Are you? We'll get Chris to look at it. But it's on there solid. I think that one's been doing that.
Well, ain't good.
WooFDriver.
Well.
Spikes are on the line or something.
Yep. We'll have to ask him when we stop. But it felt solid, so I don't think it's coming off.
If you go down 5 miles an hour.
Yeah. You think it's coming off?
I don't know, but it's wobbling pretty bad.
Did it feel tight to you?
It felt tight to me, but it's wobbling pretty bad. Makes the spikes a bit. I think that spikes should get back and slapping it down.
Yeah, the new trailer, we won't do that. It is wobbling pretty good. Is it worse than it was before?
No, that's the same. I just hope it makes it these next 5 miles.
WooFDriver.
Yep. Yeah, part of the trailer issue is, and I talked about this, that we strap the bikes on so hard that it puts probably undue pressure on them. So because they need to be hard, because it's just them against the elements when you're on the highway. If it's an enclosed trailer, they're a little more sheltered. They're not getting blown around directly by the wind, so they don't need as much protection or as much tight straps on them secure. They don't need to be as secure. So that all wears on the bike pretty well. So we have to be careful. Just have to. There's a lot to keep track of here, and again, it's part of the reasons I have a team. Now I've done this myself, not to this extent, but I spent many years, as I talked about earlier on this trip and in this video, I talked about how I spent many years doing everything I do by myself. I was doing it in the dark and all that. I was a one-man show. I mean, I'd unload the bike, and I was using a bike roughly this size. So, I mean, I didn't always use a bike this size. I used smaller ones, but then when I got my first bike this size, years and years ago, I did it all myself. Again, not going to destinations as far as we're at today, but still making my way around the local area. I can't believe how nice the trail is.
Yeah, we really fixed it up, man.
Beautiful. So, is this blacktop, would you say, Jim, or crushed stone?
I just crushed down a little
Real fine now. It's tight.
bit. Really loaded good.
Yeah, really a nice surface. It is like a crushed stone, but it's really tight, and they rolled it really, packed it really well. So I'm using some specialized equipment to really get the dogs from a premium angle. And I'm using what they call chameleon cameras. They no longer make them anymore. These chameleon cameras have been converted to infrared. So they're really, I'm hoping, going to give us a unique perspective of, again, what I do. And I really enjoy going back in the WooFDriver archive on YouTube and playing it in my house, of all the different trips I've done over the years. It's just phenomenal. And seeing it from different perspectives and really getting the dog's take on it and their excitement and their expressions and their love for it is priceless to me. So I spend a lot of time investing in equipment and figuring out new ways to use equipment, cameras, etc. And something new comes out of new technology, I always evaluate it, see if it's something that I can use to provide a different insight on what I do for everybody, the fans out there to see, and for me to keep enjoying. And it's really neat to see the dogs in different stages of their lives doing this. Like, I've had Chase, Jag, and Zorro that are currently on here from puppies. I literally got them when they were probably 4 or 5 months old. And I taught them to do this, and there was video of some of that and how they enjoyed this all through the years of their lives, and they're still enjoying it. And now Princess, I rescued her when she was about 4, so she was a full-grown dog, but how she built muscle and really developed. And she was a wild tart, I'd like to call her. And I tamed her wild flame for the most part. She still has some wildness to her, but I was able to tame her. And my saying is I can wear out any husky, and she was proof of that. But Lola's the same way. When I got Lola back in June, it's almost September now, and you can see her muscles starting to really take shape and her body filling out because of the exercise regimen we do and the lifestyle we live. Now Zorro, you might be asking, I mentioned Zorro's about 75 pounds. All my other Huskies, including Princess, were in the 50 plus pound range. Some are high 40s to 50 pounds. Princess crested 60 when at her heaviest. But Zorro's 75. He's got Malamute in him. He is the only Husky I've had that's been partially mixed. And my first husky, Czar, C-Z-A-R, not Zorro, like I had now. Well, Czar was full husky, but he was a big boy too, without having Malamute in him. His high, at his heaviest, he was close to 90. It's unbelievable. He was overweight at that weight. Zorro is not overweight at 75. That's an optimal weight for him. But Czar was overweight at 90. And when I finally got him on the right diet, and the right food, and the right exercise regimen, he became, I think he leveled off somewhere around 75 pounds. Maybe even 70. I mean, he was big time overweight at one point. Those were in my younger years when I didn't understand diets for dogs and their full exercise regimen and what their performance levels, how they could reach them, and proper exercise, what proper exercise could do for them. And we are trucking right along, just knocking miles off. Hopefully our bike's going to hold up here. We'll have it checked out for our next run. Here comes another mile marker. 67, Jim. Yeah, mile markers are flying by. Yeah, so I was talking earlier how sometimes this trail goes for long stretches without having access. And this has been pretty long. I think we've been 3 or 4 miles without access so far. To my left might be, is that a canal house or something over there? Yep. Ooh, a little eerie looking there. Yeah, that's a canal house over there, and that's kind of eerie looking. That's what's all along this trail, again, being built in the late 1700s, early 1800s. And they had the canal houses which controlled the canal. And we've explored some of them. You can actually stay in some. I've rented them, and again, you can go back in the WooFDriver archives and see, and we've done our own little ghost hunt. Pretty extensive ghost hunt. Remember, I have equipment that is similar to what you see on TV on Ghost Adventures, a pretty extensive array of sophisticated equipment that allows us to basically see different, not only see in the dark using different technologies like ultraviolet and infrared lighting, I was talking tonight, but also using artificial intelligence, something called a SLS cam, which is a light ray gun. Basically, it's not a gun that fires weapons, it fires light, and the light detects shapes. It forms around shapes, and it can actually detect an anomaly, like a stick figure starts to form. An anomaly starts to form, and you'll see a stick figure form, and you can be looking at it under any kind of lighting and not see it until you put it under the SLS cam, and then you can try to interact with it and see if something's really there. I mean, it's a pretty intense and revealing piece of equipment. And I use audio equipment talked about earlier, like the Ovilus, different spirit boxes that can take audio waves and make what's not audible to human ears, make it audible, so we can hear energies, spirits, etc., trying to communicate with us. And I'm carrying one of those devices tonight on the bike. I haven't had much interaction, so I'm really surprised, because we're in an area called Antietam, which was one of the bloodiest battles in the Civil War, and it's supposedly very haunted around here. I've ridden this area before and gotten some paranormal evidence, but I usually don't. I just started this year riding and having my equipment monitoring as we ride. Usually we'll get to an area and we'll set up our equipment there and investigate that area, whether it's a graveyard or an abandoned house or ruins, etc. Now I'm just doing it as I run, as the dogs run, as we travel. Different concept, and I'm seeing what I can come up with. We've just done about 5 or 6 of these kind of mobile ghost hunting, paranormal investigating on the run, and we haven't processed them yet. So I'm looking forward to that. My team that processes them is different than the team that's with me now, though Chris will contribute and navigate some of that editing, because he is the in-house ghost expert. And again, Curtis, who comes with us and is my special guest sometimes, he's the guest ghost hunting expert. Was part of the Paranormal Society, which is some kind of group of paranormal experts, and you can find out more about him on my website, werewoofs.com. W-E-R-E, Woofs, W-O-O-F-S.com. Just like I spell Wolf Driver, W-O-O-F, driver.com. For more about me, of course. So we're trucking right along. I'm keeping an eye on the front tire, which is a little wobbly at this point. It still seems like it's on solid. Probably what happens with these tires, the bearings fall out or get worn, and they need to be replaced occasionally. And we're probably getting to the point of that also. The spokes could be bent from all the pressure from tying them down to the trailer so tight. We hope to have an enclosed trailer soon, travel with that, where we won't have to strap them down so tight, put the pressure on the wheels, and possibly bend the rims that we've done of late. We don't bend them purposely, but that's what can happen from too much pressure. So sometimes Zara will fall back a little bit, and I'll adjust my speed here to keep him at a comfortable pace. Looks like something's on the trail here. Looking at my FLIR, I don't see a heat signature. That means that it's probably just a branch. Gonna make sure I can run over it, and it is just a leaf. It was just a cluster of leaves on a branch that fell. Not a big branch, more like a twig. But that FLIR helps me see that at night, and again, that's just positioned past me, and I can see around it, but it's kind of like right in the center of my vision, which is nice. How's Jimmy? Great. You see, Jim will keep an eye on the dogs from his perspective, and I'll look from mine, because believe it or not, you know, they change a little bit how they run, their pace, when they get tired, when they need a break, etc. And it helps having Jim's set of eyes from his perspective, and of course my set of eyes from my perspective, because then we can see if one of us thinks something's up, we can stop and make an adjustment, check them out, etc. And if they're going to have a bathroom break, some dogs, like sled dogs, will go to the bathroom as they run. And Jag will do that. Jag's my dog on my back right. He's the white dog behind the other white dog. He will do that. But the other dogs usually stop. And that's no problem. I stop, but sometimes Jim will detect it first and be like, wait, the dog's getting ready to go to the bathroom, and I'll put the brake on just so he can be a little more comfortable. Dogs that do it while they're in motion, like on a sled dog team or whatever, that happens because they can't stop the whole team every time one of the dogs has to go to the bathroom. In addition, sometimes you'll have dogs just marking an area and just being dominant, and you don't want to keep stopping every time the dog does that. So you want to kind of teach them by going that we're not going to mark these areas. When we stop to get water or stop to go through a gate or whatever, if they want to mark it there, that's fine. And sometimes we could just be moseying along and you'll let them stop and mark an area just because this is for the dogs. But I don't like to stop every 2 seconds. We're building up some mileage here. We're going to do 10 to 15. It's a little warmer than it's been on our past few night runs, so probably keep it a little shorter. If you were with us last week, Friday night, I guess it is, today's Tuesday, it was in the 50s. Tonight's probably high 60s, low 70s. Still cool, good for a run, but warm to the Huskies. Long time without an access.
Yeah.
That's the thing when you have these long runs without access.
There's an access back there where we diverted to the road,
Oh, was it?
where the people camp.
Oh, yeah, still a ways.
Yeah, that was 3 miles back.
Yeah. That's why you want to really try to baby the bike if you feel it's might be struggling a little, because we don't want to get caught back here. It'll be a long way out. Chris is monitoring us. If we don't have cell phone connectivity, we can use our satellite phones, but it still would be a big inconvenience. So the tire seems fine, but I'm gonna try to be a little gingerly with it, and the trail's cooperated because it's so smooth, so no undue pressure on it. Really neat tree to my right that I'm passing. I don't think it's on camera. Look at that tree. Yeah. So when I go out at night, I usually don't feed the dogs that day. It's almost like they fast. I feed my dogs, the optimal diet for them with me is once a day. And that really works out well because we're such an active family that I don't like to have too many meals, because I feel you risk. That's that wheel again. You hear that, Jim? What's that? Yeah. I don't know if those are spokes breaking. So is that why it would make that noise?
Yep.
Anything we can do to make sure it keeps going?
Get it there. You get it back and you can work on it.
Look at this tree, Jim. I don't want it to fall on us. It looks like it's on the side.
I hate that.
We just passed 66, Jim.
Yeah, man.
What are we going to?
We should be like 63 or 62 with 10 miles. I don't know.
What did we start? What did I... 72 we started at.
62 was the first one we saw, but we were almost a mile in.
Yeah, we were. So, yeah.
Between 63 and 62.
So we probably have 3 or 4 miles. And at that point, we probably will call it a night. If we wanted to, we could switch bikes, but just because of the way this wheel's acting, don't want to push it too far. You think it's okay now? It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight, but it's probably on its last leg. Remember, the worst that happens is it falls off, nobody gets hurt, and we've got to walk ourselves out of here. Yeah. In the front too? You fixed the front too? So Jim's just letting me know that him and Chris again, this is my master mechanic, they made the original design of this bike was really hard to replace the bearings. That's what goes bad in them. And they spent a day or two re-engineering the wheel layouts so they could easily replace the bearings. Before it was almost impossible. You had to get a new wheel, but they re-engineered it. So replacing the bearings is not going to be a problem. Of course, it's a little tough to do back here, and I'm not mechanically equipped. Now Chris might be able to do it on the trail, but he's still a long way from us. He's got a vehicle that is trail worthy. He could meet us back here if he had to, but I don't know if he's got everything he needs to do that. It's more of a shop thing, and hopefully we can make it these next few miles, and then we can take it to our shop and replace it at our convenience. Even if it's not replaced before the next trip, we'll just use another bike. Another dog power go-kart, as I said. We're really far back in the woods. You can see by all the travel we've done that this is heavily wooded and very desolate. I wear the vest that you see me wear in case you're not familiar with it. It's customized for what I do. It's almost like a body harness where it harnesses me in, so all of my legs are strapped and my upper body, my upper torso is strapped, which means I can attach the dogs to it and they're not going to break away from me. They could actually pull me, and I've used it before. Again, you can go back in my WooFDriver archive videos and see them attached to it when we've gotten into different predicaments. Sometimes it's for a little while, sometimes it's for a while, and all four can attach to it if need be, and we can make it out of any situation. They are trained off leash also, but depending on the predicament on these trails, not knowing who we're going to run into or what situation, especially at night, I like to keep them attached to me. But I have free ranged them on these trails where we've broken down before. So all depends on the situation. We're really moving at a great pace. Also, knowing that we're probably only going to do the 10 miles tonight is nice, that we go at a little bit quicker of a pace. So if we go 15 miles, I might run a slower pace. How we looking, Jim?
Good, buddy. Everybody's looking good.
The wheel look about the same?
Yep. Big boy's getting cracking now.
Is he? Yeah, he's... I'm working him.
So is Brady.
Really? So I'm working him, huh? Not him.
Yep, he's pulling.
He's the only one left pulling. When we say he's pulling, it means his line is taut. Again, they can't pull this bike unless we're going level or downhill. It's just...
You gotta go any further than
Yeah.
what you're doing. You go up quick on that wheel.
Yeah. Why do you think it makes those sounds? You think those are bearings falling out, or?
Yeah. Lining up.
What's that?
It's lining up.
Yep. We actually put a lot of miles on these bikes. So,
Gotta have a bearing job anyway. Turn that off. The bearings on the head.
I agree. We put a lot of miles on these bikes, as you know. I mean, I have a whole list of all of my adventures on my WooFDriver.com website. I claim to have done more adventuring with dogs, trip-wise, than anybody in the world ever. I think that's a pretty accurate claim. I've driven over 100,000 miles just to adventure with my dogs. That means from my house to all these different trails and all these different locations that I run them at has totaled well over 100,000 miles. Now I haven't actually run the dogs 100,000 miles, but that's how far I've traveled to adventure with them. Love this pace we're cooking at. Roughly, and this equipment could be off 6 miles per hour. Pretty fast for them. For a consistent pace, they can sprint 15 miles per hour on the bike. If they're not attached to the bike, I've clocked them close to 30 miles per hour, which is not unusual. Husky shepherds. Now, when you get into sight hounds like greyhounds, they can run 40 miles per hour plus. But huskies, shepherds, breeds like that are usually top out at about 30 miles per hour plus, but not when they're attached to the bike. And when they're attached to the bike, that's controlling their gait a little more, and it's restricting them in some ways. They can't totally air it out as they'd like to. So top speed is usually 15 miles per hour or so, sprinting speed on the bike. Kind of cool, you can see Chase's shadow almost as the bike was spinning, as the camera was spinning. What do we got up here? So I see a reflection of a sign, which it might just be letting us know there's trail work ahead, or it might be an actual gate where there's road access, which is nice to know in case we do lose this tire. But I think it's just trail work ahead. Again, they're doing a lot of trail work here over the course of the summer because of erosion. A lot of the trail has suffered storm damage across the 185 miles in different areas, but it is along the river almost the whole trail in some way, and it's been flooded quite a bit. These have been wet years. This year hasn't been as wet, but last summer, I believe, and the summer before were pretty wet, which caused a lot of erosion and a lot of flooding to these trails. So I think this summer being drier, they've been able to actually address it and make some well-needed repairs. Oh, it's detour, Jim. Oh, okay, towpath detour. I thought it said closed. G. No, I don't mind those kinds of detours. Crispy's calling us. What's up, dude?
Get out.
Our front tire's really wobbling, and I've been hearing a click. I think the bearings are gone.
B.
What's that? Oh.
I said that's B. If you stop right at this bridge, I can come over and check it out.
10-4 stopping here for you to check out. Okay. I told you he's been on, haven't I?
Yeah. He's on the signal.
He said at this bridge. Do you see him, Jim? I'm crossing the road now. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Jim, watch the equipment as I go through, Bud, and the dogs.
Easy. Good. Go.
Let's give him water too, Jim. Mega boom. I mean, it popped. And it's wobbling, but it seems pretty tight on there. But when it rides, it's like that.
It's really wobbly.
WooFDriver.
Are they loose?
It's really wobbly. And it's making stop back on top. Yeah, stop back on top. I think these back two need attention too. They're both making noise too.
WooFDriver.
You good, Jim?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
If you could tighten the spokes, that'd be nice. That camera's riding good, man.
Nice place here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty run good. You right, Boogie?
Trying to get some pictures here as Crispy's going to address the wheel and Jimmy's watering the dogs up.
WooFDriver.
Haven't had much from the obelisk, Chris. Last. But I'm getting a lot of EMF, but
How you like them bugs? Ain't they nice?
man, they're all over.
Anything I can do to help you?
WooFDriver.
Huh? Good thing you knew they can't have all of them. Yeah, that wheel's ready to fall off here.
You think it'll make it, Chris?
50-50. Tighten up the space.
A real what?
Surf tool.
Oh man, I'll order it in a heartbeat. Just tell me.
It's like a, we put the ring off the shift on the
WooFDriver.
Yeah, man. Tell you what, this light's great for taking pictures, though.
Just not good for bugs, huh?
Well, but when it gets a little cooler out, bugs will be gone.
WooFDriver.
What's that?
But I was thinking about what the obvious said,
Yeah.
and I was at the top today with the form to fill out freedom of information to get the body cam shit. Where they held me at gunpoint, told me if I fucking moved the muscle, they were gonna fucking shoot me.
Really?
Yeah.
He told you that?
Yeah.
Why?
And they fucking arrested me.
Oh, there. Yeah. That one today.
Yeah, but I was
WooFDriver.
Yeah.
I was there trying to, hand in the form
Yeah.
to get the body cam shit from the top, from when they did that
Yeah.
today.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna film this. Oh, they're on me now.
WooFDriver.
She turned that light on. Okay, I know it's a little hard to see in the dark, but that's Chris B right there fixing the wheel. We've got some loose spokes. That's what broke. That's what we heard pop.
The next step is actual hits the ground.
Everybody's doing great. Our mileage says 7.92. Remember, I started that a little late, so it's a little better than 8 miles right now. Big boy Zorro is laying on the ground having a break. Lola's like, let's go, Dad. And we're right on the Potomac River. I know you can't see it, but we can. As we are here, we're filming this thing in infrared too, so if you watch the video later, the infrared version, you'll be able to see that. Having a great run. It's a little buggy out here. Temperatures roughly high 60s, low 70s. See you at the next stop. Okay. That's what we hear pop when it breaks.
Yeah, and then it's a fucking chain reaction.
The what?
So then you have a chain reaction.
Yeah.
The rest of them, you got a couple broken.
Should we take it to the bike store for this?
And take the wheel to the bike store.
Yeah.
All these wheels probably ought to come off here. Take a look at them. Two of them done. Oh, Patty. Yeah.
You think it'll make it no problem the next few miles though?
50-50, right, Chris? Let's see what it looks like after I tighten this shit up. Go back down.
Jim's fault. Right, Jimmy?
Dan would say, somebody on that bike's a lord.
Yeah, you can't carry your ass. That's what you would tell me. Are you trying to take his place?
That's what you said. I can hear him now.
What driver?
Tomorrow, what do you say, buddy?
Yeah, the problem with this headlight, Chris, is it tracks all the bugs. For some reason, this thing's like a bug magnet.
You got a wider area of light.
Yeah.
I couldn't hardly see it when I had that.
No, I can't turn it on.
Goes in all directions.
Yep. It'll be good in the fall, but phew. It's great though for the camera. It gives me really good light.
What driver?
But I could wear this on my ski hat, you know, on my winter hat. Well, I won't need it during the day, I guess, but when we're out here. Ooh, gosh. Breather right here.
What driver?
That son of a bitch was really wobbling, Chris. It's all out of whack. He was really wobbling.
That's so weird. Because
WooFDriving.
the wicket, you heard it say wicket, right? When you walked up here, it had different words on there. It didn't say anything. But now it's back to wicket. It's weird.
Must have said it again.
No, because sunset was the last thing it said. But I don't know. It's bizarre.
He's got at least 3 broken screws. How do you think that happened, boys? Just the one fucking weird.
Chain reaction. One goes and...
Yeah, and then it puts stress on everything else.
WooFDriver.
What are you thinking? You thinking we should make it, or you think we gotta quit? Dude, sit in it when Billy moves across there. You'll be able to sit it. Sit in the back.
Let me just
Look at it from the front or something. I'm sure it's going to be obvious. It is obvious. It was obvious. Somebody straightened it out.
What do you think, Chris? Oh, sorry, babe. What's that?
They're like 20 feet and maybe see what it looks like. See it from behind you, good.
WooFDriver.
Okay, come on, guys. Hike. You think? Okay, buddy. See it. Yeah, that'll be perfect for the dogs. Be perfect for the dogs as long as we make it. If not, Jimmy, what do I do? Roll you down to the river?
Roll me down the river. You better worry about your talking.
I'm going to call Dan. Thank you, Chris. See you soon. You ready, bud? Come on, guys. Sorrow. So, no? Well, at least they're tight, though. So what Chris did was, what happened when you heard the loud boom, I thought it was the bearing, but we popped a couple spokes. So they're kind of loud when they break, and it's like a chain reaction. Once one breaks, the other breaks, or the others get out of line because they're all holding it tight, taking the pressure, and once you, it's kind of like dominoes. But Chris tightened them up, just a quick job with a wrench, and he thinks he's got it to the point where we'll be good for the rest of the trail, which is like 2.5 miles. You calling me?
No, sorry, I was leaning up against it.
All good. It's wobbling, but it's not making noise. We'll keep you posted. Hopefully we'll be good.
Yeah, just avoid potholes.
10-4 on that. He said avoid potholes, Jim. Yeah, it's been smooth. Sometimes you can't help it. Yep. So we felt that it's good, and it's important. Oh yeah. So it's important to try to get the dogs their exercise, what we set out to do. So I've been running them at a good pace, so that's going to help. You okay, Jim? Mm-hmm. So that's going to help with their exercise regimens. Not doing so far, but because of the quicker pace, it'll help satisfy their exercise for the day, which is good. And hopefully the rim, the spoke, come on, Chase. The spoke will hold up. The spokes remain tight, the ones that are there, and take the pressure well, because if they all pop out, what happens is the rim will essentially collapse or fall off. Again, nobody will get hurt, but it'll just be a pain getting back to the truck, because remember, we're not parallel on the road here or anything, or at least the road's not too close by. Chris did just meet us, did the evaluation, and said, I think you guys, after he tightened the spokes, I think you guys can make it the 2.5 miles to complete your 10-mile journey. So let's try to do that. That's what we're doing. Now remember, this is not an exact science. I'm kind of pioneering this, using equipment that was custom made. Is it really?
On the other side?
Yeah. It's the spokes. But that's an easy fix at the bike store.
Yeah.
He could take it off and you could run it up there tomorrow or something.
I think you should take these two off his back.
Yeah, I'll tell him. Got a good view of the river to our right. It's kind of open, or at least it was there. Nice view of the Potomac River. Potomac River is pretty historical, a pretty important part of American history, and you can even see it today featured in a lot of pictures if you see Washington, D.C., because the Potomac River borders or meanders through D.C. or it's close by. So it's included in a lot of pictures of our nation's capital. Pretty cool. It flows into, or the Shenandoah River flows into the Potomac River around the Harper's Ferry area. I know that from all of our visits to Shenandoah. In case you don't know, Wolf Driver myself, I have a little retreat in the Shenandoah Mountains where the dogs go with me and we do some free ranging and we stay overnight, stay there for a week sometimes, and just enjoy the great outdoors there. It is my personal place, so I can do what I want with the dogs. They can have the run of the place. Kind of cool. That's Crispy up there. I didn't know what that was. So the road is not that far, but we wouldn't be able to make it to him. We'd have to go up the trail if we did have a breakdown before our next stop, unless there becomes an opening. Because even though the road looks close, the canal or the remnants of the canal still look pretty well defined there, which means that there's a pretty good dip in the woods there. Dogs drink, Jim? Okay. Yeah, we always offer the... What's going on here, buddy? Oh. No, it goes around to our left. Oh, I was getting ready to call Chris. Oh. Come on. Yep. Come on, Chase. Oh, he's peeing. He's trying to get him over the hill. Good boy. Ready?
Yep.
Come on, guys. Hike. Oh, shoot, man. You're not kidding. Is that going to make it?
I don't know. Maybe not. Especially with them cameras in there.
WooFDriver.
Crispy, crispy, crispy. Should I head up there? Wolf driving here, folks. Getting to a bridge now. What's that? Another obstacle. Again, this is why I have the Wolf Driver pit crew and a co-pilot with me, because we're getting to a predicament where, who knows, the trail wasn't marked that there was this kind of detour. It didn't even say it right at the sign. It just has a yellow caution tape. Not a good sign, huh? And Jim is trying to check out the lay of the land and see if, in fact, we're able to make it through. It looks like a narrow temporary bridge they built. You might get to witness, if we do cross it, and we can keep the dogs on there, their ability to kind of hug the bike.
WooFDriver.
They're not scared of it at all. It's a trust we built, that they know if I take them, they're going to be safe. So they follow me and my lead. There are times where they've questioned it, and sometimes they'll buck the system, which I've had, but we'll accommodate them if they get too scared. It's no problem. We'll take them off. That's why, again, I wear this orange vest. They can all attach safely to it, and we'll find another way around. And go back in an early video when we were on the Great Allegheny Passage getting towards Pittsburgh, and Jag and Chase were really being obstinate about crossing a chain link bridge where it was perfectly safe. It was a modern day bridge, plenty wide, and they just would not do it. So Rhett had to carry 2 dogs, and I had to navigate Princess and Zorro across. Pretty interesting. Okay. Okay. Hey, nope. So what should we do? Okay, I'm gonna start doing it. Okay, come on, guys. Come on, hike. Come on, Chase. Wow, look at all them bugs, Jim.
That's you.
Whoa.
Oh, don't get off.
Okay.
Don't get off.
I'm just trying to get you so you don't.
What I had to do, well, here's the trouble. You got to take the dogs off and manipulate the bike at the same time.
Well, I think I might be able to get the dogs through. Let's see once I get lined up. But how bad is it once you get over the bridge?
Well, then you got to, just like you came up here.
Yeah.
You got to go down that side.
Okay.
But it's not bad. It's as passable as what you just went. The bridge is the whole problem, buddy.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. Take your time. Take your time.
Hold on, man. This way. So fuck the bridge.
What's that?
This way. Fuck the bridge.
Really?
Hang on. Let me take it off. Okay, we're going to go this way. We're going to back up.
Okay.
Look, we're going to avoid the bridge and go this way.
Even with the wheel?
Yep, it's all right. It's just as good.
Okay.
Okay? Now just back straight up. I'll
Okay.
watch you. Just
Back up.
the brake real slow.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Come on.
Back up.
Come on. Keep coming back.
Back up.
All right, now you're going to have to go slow. Susie.
WooFDriver.
Back up. You want me to go forward or not yet?
Come on back.
Back up. Back up.
Got it right going around?
Yep.
That's what you're going to do. Keep coming back.
Back up.
Cut the wheel toward me. Go the other way.
Back up.
That's it. Cut it the other way. Cut it the other way. All right.
I think I can do it now.
You're ready. Now you gotta go slow. It's
Okay.
gonna be bumpy.
And watch the wheel. Ready? Come on, guys.
Nothing you can do about it, buddy.
Come on. Come on, guys.
I'll push you if you want. Just take your time, nice and slow. It's gonna tilt a little. Just don't worry about it. You're
WooFDriver.
good. Nice and slow, buddy. Not too quick.
Yep.
You all right?
Yep.
Get up the other side. You're wait for me.
Which way's it go? Take your time, Jim.
I'm gonna guide you through this.
That was a good idea.
That's why you.
That's why I'm better being with you than Dan.
This way you gotta go.
Okay.
Because we might have to swing out here a little bit to run that long.
Come on, guys. Hike. Haul over. G. Hang on. I'm going to back up a little bit. Back up. Back up, guys. Nope. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Okay. Forward. Forward. Yep. The trail's right there, right? Yep. Come on, guys. Good boys. Good girl. Boys and good girl. Yep. I'm going to do that and then you get on. Haul come around. 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 Okay, buddy. I don't pay you enough. You're too smart. Hey, is that camera still back there?
Huh?
That camera still look good?
Yeah.
The back camera?
Yeah.
Good.
If that was daytime, you'd seen that easy. But
Yeah.
you can't see it at night.
You caught it, Jim.
Okay, buddy. We're back in business.
Okay, come on, guys. Hike. As long as our wheel holds up.
As long as the wheel holds up.
We're almost at 9 miles.
Good job driving, man.
What's that?
Good job driving.
Thank you, buddy. Dogs cooperated well.
Oh, my, they're so good.
Okay. So we made it through a pretty tumultuous spot there. We were getting ready to go over the bridge when Jim noticed the repair on that part of the trail, that they were actually accessing probably some of the heavy equipment they're using through next to the bridge. So we actually went next to the bridge and we did it pretty good. The dogs, as you see, are just so cooperative and so good at this and so trusting that it almost brings tears to my eyes. I mean, and Lola, being as new as she is to the pack, remember I've had her since June. This is probably her 20th dog trip. She's just totally into it in the sense that she's built that bond of trust with me and her pack mates so quickly because, you know, I'm a seasoned veteran and I know what to do, and I've made my mistakes along the way, and of course that's how I learned a lot. But and I've been trained by one of the best. But she's just in perfectly, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So I'm very, very happy about it, and it's a beautiful thing. This will be another, you know, you never know. We come out to these trails, just what you're going to run into. It's not like, you know, you're on big highway in my area on the east coast of the USA is 95, Interstate 95. It runs from like Maine to Miami. And of course, if there's road closures, your GPS will tell you, or you'll see it on the news, or it'll be in the paper or the internet, whatever, because it's a big road, big corridor. But these trails, you know, they don't get traffic like a roadway, like a major roadway. So if there's detours and they're closed down or whatever, you're not going to read about that. Once in a while you will. I'm friends, I like this trail on Facebook. 64, Jim. And once in a while they keep you updated pretty good. So I guess I could research it a little better, but we're so spontaneous. You never know what areas of the trail we're going to because, again, weather's a big factor, and also how we're feeling, what kind of driving we want to do. So it's really hard to get all the stars to align properly and make for the perfect trip. It's more of a spontaneous driven trip that we just weather the storm, no pun intended, as we get there as we go. Still banking on this wheel taking us home. We're hoping we can make it. It's got some pretty good play in it. It is pretty tight. As I found out from Chris, it's not the bearings, it is the... I hope the wheel don't end first. It's making noise. As I was saying, Chris, my master mechanic, informed me that it's not the bearings, which I thought it was. It's actually the spokes. The problem is once one spoke goes, again, it's like dominoes, and we tighten them. We think it'll make it the rest of the trail again. If it doesn't, it's not going to be any major damage, except for the bike will be inoperable and we'll have to walk. The further we get now, is less we'll have to walk. So we're doing our best, and the less recovery time that we have to come and reclaim the bike, my team, later after we get the dogs back to the truck. But we're getting closer every revolution, every turn on the wheel. So we're actually, as we speak, we're getting closer, and just hoping it holds out. We've been in similar predicaments before, and we signed on tough. Again, we're not putting anybody in jeopardy. If the wheel breaks, it's not going to be no damage done. It's just going to come off here. We might have a little bit of a hard landing to the right. The other wheels will support us, and nobody's going to get hurt. It's not like we're in a car and a wheel comes off. We've had this happen before. We don't like to make a practice out of it. We've gotten better as we've gotten smarter and the equipment's gotten better. And we know how things wear. But it's just all part of wolf driving. It's a labor of love. And what happens when we get back to the truck, in case you've never seen the wolf driver videos, we will water the dogs, and then we have water bowls for the dogs in the truck also, in the dog limousine, as I like to say. So we'll get them in there one by one, and what I mean by that is I walk each dog separately so I can hold them, because even though they're trained off leashes, as I said, I don't want them running around with at night where I can't see as well, and with everything that can take place at a trail like this. So I get them in the truck. They'll have full water bowls when they get in there, and they'll rest. I'll get the harnesses and collars off. They'll be able to lay down and rest while we put the equipment away. It takes us roughly an hour to pack everything up. If we do get the enclosed trailer, that'll help us on our timing, which we will get it. That's going to be the next evolution of Wolf Driver, having an enclosed trailer, and that'll be coming on one of the upcoming trips. I'm going to get one. I've already been scoping a few out, and that'll make life a lot easier, and also give me even more range to do more cool stuff. Jay's started to pick up a pace. He's seeing something up here, or he's picking up on a scent. We are clocking the miles, which is good for the dogs. Remember, I come from a pretty physical background, heavily into the martial arts, and spent lots of time in the gym and the dojo. So I'm all about exercise and get my dogs exercise. I'm not super physically fit myself right now. I hope to be back at it soon, but most of my time goes towards the dogs. I don't have the time to get back to the gym or dojo as of late. So put a few pounds on myself, and I know the hardships of that, and I never want my dogs to go through it, so I'm always keeping them fit so they can be in optimal health. And with huskies, if you don't give them that exercise regimen, they become very problematic. We're probably going to be, we crossed the 64-mile marker about a half to 3/4 of a mile ago. We're probably looking for 63 or 62 is where we're going to meet Chris again, and we'll end our adventure for the night. How are we looking, Jimmy? Yep. What's that? Yeah. Yep. Well, we'll see it really swerve if it starts to go. So one other thing I'd like to mention is I've been working a lot because my expertise has really grown in the filming and camera venues. I pride myself on getting some really creative and unusual perspectives of the dogs, just so I can enjoy I can savor their enjoyment, as well as see if I can improve anything on our activities, how we build the bikes, might make something a change, whatever. And so I can document these moments. So I'm using a new camera rig setup that I built tonight, and I'm curious to see the footage. Of course, it's infrared cameras again. I've had the cameras modified, and it should provide for some really good footage. We're really cruising. We're over, I don't know, earlier I mentioned we were doing 6 miles per hour. Now we're doing 7, 6.5 to 7. So the dogs can actually sense as we get closer to the vehicle, meaning the dog limousine. So that excites them too. Another mile marker coming up, Jimmy. $63. So roughly a half a mile is what Jim thinks until we get to our meet-up point with Chris. The wheel is still hanging on. Oh, it's good. It's all good, man. Something in those woods he hears. I heard it too. Beautiful night. Just catching a cool breeze here. It is a little warmer than last week, so again the 10 miles will be a perfect ending for them. But I'm feeling some cooler air move in, and I've checked the weather forecast. The next 10 days look to be in the 70s. Something down there, Jim, to our right? Oh, campers. To a campsite. I saw a reflection. Usually I'm looking for eyes. It's actually campers. It wasn't their eyes, it was just a reflection of their tents. But again, I like to get out of Dodge when I run into campsites. I don't want to wake them up and scare them. We've been through campsites before where we've rolled up and we've heard them cock a gun because, again, they don't know who we are coming through in the middle of the night with this big rig. Looks kind of weird. I mean, definitely they know we're not doing anything nefarious with the dogs, but it can scare someone. So I just like to go through as fast as possible, create as little bit of waves as possible. Cool perspective from the camera I'm seeing right now. Sometimes you'll see different colors of light. Again, the dog's harnesses all have different color lights, so we identify them with and their collars, as well as we wear different colored headlights. Jim's wearing a green one now. Keeps it on green because it's not quite as bright. It's not attracting the bugs as much when it's on one of the colors we find, as well as it's not as bright to shine at the dogs. We don't want to shine too bright at the dogs, but we like to look down at them occasionally just to make sure everything's running right, so we need to be able to see them. The video always looks a little pink or bluish, and that's just the infrared aspect. Give them a good clip here. Again, 6.5 to 7 miles. Just keeping the pace a little bit faster than normal because we're going to do less mileage tonight. That'll satisfy their exercise desires. Everybody look good, Jim? Am I going right? Where's, shine your light to the right.
That goes to the water. That's got to go to the water. Hang on a minute. I don't know where that goes to. Oh, this is the lock, isn't it, buddy?
Yeah, I think that's...
Let me get off, take a look.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I can't see it.
Yep, that's all right.
I never know what's happening.
Yep.
This looks like an old trail, boy. I think we got to go that way.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, we're getting near Harper's Ferry. We go...
That's got the new pavement.
Yep.
I'm sure we got to go that
Okay,
way.
back up, guys. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Used to be a sign there pointed that way.
That's right. There did. Yep, Harper's Ferry. Okay, Jimmy, I know where we're at now.
Okay, buddy.
Still got roughly half a mile or so. Yeah, I think so. Glad you got off looked.
Okay.
Good. Come on, guys. Forward. Hike. Come on, Zara. Yeah, so again, it's the cover at night. Kind of find the trail sometimes, especially when they're not marked real good and this new surface is put in, so it's very dark and it's blending in with the ground really well. But it sure feels good. I believe we're in Harper's Ferry or getting close, which is really historical. And just right now smelling some burning wood, maybe a campfire. Smells really good. And it gives you that warm feeling. Good trying to figure out the layout. I'm good right now, thanks, buddy. Is that you? Okay, just making sure. Trying to figure out the layout. I'm good, I think. Yep. So last I looked, we're almost 11 miles, so it's a little further. We're almost in this 11 miles. So sometimes our mileages are a little off when we try to calculate from what Chris calculates the mile markers at. And this is to our benefit tonight because the extra mileage is welcomed. As long as the bike's doing good, of course the dogs, but we know they're doing good. We're trying to keep the bike going so we can make it back to Chris and at our destination and wrap this puppy up, no pun intended. Now we're going to be close, actually, to where the Potomac flows into the Shenandoah. Look, is that horse or bear poop? It was to our left. Wow, it looked like bear. Yeah, it did. So that's one thing you got to be alert for is, you know, the droppings from the animals. Sometimes you can tell what animal was around here. That's what it looked like to me, but again, it's nighttime. And Jim didn't catch it in time to verify, so just keep it on alert. But this, we're getting towards what I said is Harper's Ferry. Most people watching the video have probably heard about Harper's Ferry. Again, it's a very historical area in the United States, and not down there, right? And it has where the Potomac River meets the Shenandoah River. It's kind of cool. It's got a lot of white caps, a lot of rapids, if you will. And my co-pilot who used to come with me, Red, I think he's actually done some serious kayaking there. He's a big kayaker. And we never did it, but he always said he was going to kayak down. We were going to line it up to where he could film me coming down the trail with the dogs, and he would be in the kayak. Hopefully we'll get to that one day in the future. But we're starting to hear, I believe, the rapids from where, I think it's where the rivers flow together. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yep. So as I say, we move to the speed of the dogs, and sometimes Zorro, he's the biggest dog, he'll back off a little bit if the speed is too much for him, or for whatever reason he's not going that fast. So I'll slow down a little bit. Yeah, we just watch their line and their body posture. What I mean by their line is their tether. If they lose tension on it, then they're usually laying off of it a little bit. The speed's too fast, or he's cramping up, or maybe he needs a bathroom break, whatever. Chase almost never has that issue. He just chases nonstop from door to door. I believe we're hitting another mile marker here. Jim, another mile marker.
62?
I believe so. Or is it 6? Yeah, it's hard to tell exact mileage. According to my thing, we're like better than 11 miles in. But that's the rapids near Harper's Ferry, so we're close. Seeing that adjustment has given Zorro, he's back out in front. But sometimes it's okay to challenge him a little bit and be a little faster than he is, because that'll get him to sprint. You okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm
yawning. Yawning? Okay. That'll get him to sprint, and we want sprints. We want to get the heart rate up at some points. Now I'm still counting my blessings. This bike wheel is still holding on. So tightening up the spokes was key in keeping us going. We've been able to achieve the mileage we wanted to. Everything now is just bonus, and everybody's doing great. Dogs are doing great. We're doing great. So we're thinking we would do the final water at the truck. If we get another half a mile or so we're not there, then we will stop and give them more water. Again, usually every 2-3 miles we water them on the warmer time of year when we run them. During the winter, usually every 3 to 5 is good. It all depends on conditions, and of course if I think they're thirsty, I'll always err on the side of offering them too much than not offering them enough to keep them properly hydrated. They're really running well, trotting well I should say. Haul over, it's a little branch in the road. Haul is a sled dog command that means left. So when you say haul over, you mean left over. And I'm just trying to avoid branches because I don't want to upset this tire. It's doing good. And it was a small one. Of course, a big branch I'd have to avoid, but that I could have ran over, but just trying to not create waves for this tire so it makes it the last whatever distance we have left. So I touched on feeding. We're pretty active, so I feed them once a day. That formula's worked for me, for my Huskies, throughout my whole Husky family career for the past 20 years or so. So what I'll do is feed them once a day, and days we do runs at night, because I usually feed them at night. I skip a meal, I fast, which is fine. I just don't want to contend with possible bloating. Bloating can be fatal and has to do with intake of food and air and water, etc. But to suffice for that loss of a meal, I'll feed them twice the next day. So we'll get home in the morning hours, somewhere around dawn and maybe a little after. I'll feed them when I get them settled inside, and then I'll feed them again at night. So they'll get 2 meals that day, so they really didn't lose a meal. And I used to fast my dogs once a week or once every 2 weeks years ago. I felt it was good for the digestive system to take a rest, because it would in the wild anyway. And that was a good rule of thought. Hey man. Dude, we got to the worst area. They just shut the trail. We thought we were going to have to get you to pick us up, but then we saw it went around. It was this makeshift bridge. Wasn't wide enough. Had to go down a gully Jim found, and luckily the wheel hung on. So.
Jim's going to have to hop out, and I'm going to have to push you up the hill.
You got to push me up the hill? Okay.
I don't know, buddy. I mean, you might be able to make it, but... No, with that wheel on. We're fine. We'll be fine. See how far you can make it.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yep.
Okay, come on, guys. Come on. All right.
WooFDriver.
Shine your light up there, Chris. Come on, guys. What happened? Oh, sorry, man. Come on, guys. Hi. You want to get out?
Yep, you ready?
Yep, you ready?
Here we go.
Okay. Is this the road?
Yep.
Right here. Okay, let's water them, Jimmy. Chris, can you chalk the wheels? Cool, thanks. What a great dog trip. Something fell. Yeah. Hope you didn't hurt yourself there, Jimmy. Remember, if it's you or the dogs, bud.
I know where I should be.
So Wow, we're almost at 12 miles, guys. Still good run. What time is it? Anybody know? Whoa. Jeez. As soon as you put that thing on there, all over you.
WooFDriver.
Official time 3:01. Official mileage 11.86. Almost 12 miles. Everybody's doing great. We're in Harper's Ferry, West Virginia right now. We had a bum wheel most of the ride, but it held out so we could make the whole journey without having to improvise, for lack of a better description. Doing great. The trailer's getting ready to receive the bike. The dogs are getting their last water before they get in the truck. They have more water in there. They have their water bowls, as you know. And we had a great run. Got to check the video out.
WooFDriver.
Official. Cool.
Come on, Gage.
Chris, look how this video comes. You ever see this? See, that's with the infrared.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool, isn't it, man?
Yeah.
Get some different colors. Hey, leave this stuff on until I get to the truck. Hey, we still haven't said anything on the Ovilus. Can you believe how quiet it's been? Let me see what it says again. Still sunset. Last word, wicked. So that just shows you that that's the real deal. It speaks and it doesn't.
Yeah, it's not
WooFDriver.
just a toy.
Good run, man. I love this weather now, this breeze. We've still got 12 miles. If we had a better wheel, we might go a little further because I love this part. So awesome. But
It's really pretty. Nice.
yeah, this next part of the run is great. You go under the bridge. We should come back here next run. Let me.
Nowhere to take you up either.
Really?
You would have kept going. You have to go all the way down to where you cross the chainsaw.
Yeah. Let me get a couple pictures. Jim, you're gonna do the truck. Thanks, bud.
WooFDriver.
Yep, you jinxed it.
Why?
You said last time.
Cause I what?
You said last time that you haven't had any breaks.
I know. Well, we still didn't. We saved it. What's that? Front on this thing?
Yeah.
Let's get them, dude. Can you find them in orange or?
I haven't been able to find on, but I looked up
WooFDriver.
that specific company.
That's cool. Okay. Hey, stay with the bike, Chris. I'm gonna take one dog at a time, and it takes me a couple minutes, so you know the routine.
That's the first car I said,
Wow. Okay, watch your bike, Jimmy.
yep.
He is too. Okay, Jag. Stay, buddy. Jag, stay. Jag's always a little nervous. Stay. Good boy. There you go. Okay, good boy. Here. Come on. Come on, Jag. Come on, Jag. Jag, come on. Good boy. I'm just trying to get Jag's collar off. I know you can't see this, but I'm taking all his. Good boy. Good boy, Jaggy. Fresh water was just served to you, buddy. You're in good shape, bud. Okay, Jaggy. Big boy next. Nope, just stay here with this. Be great unless I can. What's that? Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Hey, well, I gotta get this like this. Okay, come on, buddy. Stay, guys. Okay, so Zorro goes in next. A little. Come here, Zorro. 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 Zorro, come here. Come here.
WooFDriver.
Zorro. Give me your collar. He wants to chill, and I'm trying to power off him. He's trying to drink more water in here. For some reason, he likes it in here better than he liked it out of the other bowl. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, Zorro's away now. Now we're gonna get. Hey, watch Lola especially, because when I take him, she could get a little crazy. Oops, sorry, buddy.
WooFDriver.
Stay. Okay, that doesn't want to come, so. Sometimes stay, good girl, Lola. Huh. Hang on, buddy. Okay, so Chase. Go ahead. And then I gotta go around to the other side to get his harness off just because. Keep an eye on her, guys. Where, JC? Some of these carabiners were hard to get off, so I just took them. I put them on the, left them on the harnesses. Last but not least, the pretty girl Lola. Let's see. It's just easier like this. Okay, good girl. It looks like your door's open, Loli. Come on, good girl. Good girl, come here. Flo, come here. Give me your collar first, and then you can go back. Drink it. We got. Okay. Dude, that thing, I didn't know what the hell that was. Your ghost box in there. Okay, folks, so we're going to wrap this up. WooFDriver signing off. Hope you enjoyed the ride.